First time in 15 years of running my own business, I'm now able to take weekends off and enjoy that. So what value do you put on something like that to have success and then have the time to be able to enjoy that? From going through this exponential growth in a very niche market, we had our highest turnover, we had our highest staff complement, but we made less money than any of the years before. So obviously seeing that, it then led me to ask a whole lot of questions, evaluate where we were in the business, what was the future of the business in the short, medium and long term. So I called in some help. I asked around in the industry. I was referred to Wilde Success, to Gary, and I'll never forget that meeting. Gary sat down and he asked me 3 very, very smart questions, and it was almost in those 3 questions that everything that I'd known about business, everything that I'd understood about business was being questioned. It was like I'd walked into a wall, and obviously having to face it, because the answers to all those questions were no. In terms of where I currently was, the business, where it was, did not have longevity, it did not have sustainability. And that's a bitter pill to swallow when you've put 10 years of your life into that. But it was the best 3 questions of my life. So we employed Wilde Success to come in on a 1-year turnaround program, to come and obviously look at the business, see how we could change our model, and what were the opportunities out there. Gary came up with a 1-year plan, and we worked. It was the most amazing experience of my life to have not only the personal coaching of somebody as inspirational and successful as Gary, but to have somebody who obviously knows business, understands business, and knows how to turn it around in a really short period of time. And then for me, something that we were always poor at was financials. We had a strong financial system, but we had a team of people that were unable to understand the financial system. So we were making a lot of bad decisions based on bad financial information. And again, through Gary's guidance and that, we simplified the system, we changed our accounting system that enabled us. It helped us to then give us the information that we need in terms of the stock we were ordering, what our products were moving, our profitability on the products, and obviously just general financials, and being able to see in real time where we were in the business. And I'll never forget, we always use the analogy that we hear with the boats. Before, I was like this big container captain driving this big ship. In the daytime I could see when I was going, but at night time I had no vision. And now I have that, I have vision. I have the visual on my business and the vision to be able to see where we're going, and the financial infrastructure that we have in place. And not just for me to be able to read that, your team needs to be able to understand that information and use it to make smart decisions. So the measures, the financial backbone, all key things that helped us in terms of that transformation. With Gary as part of the initial survey that we're doing with the business and making decisions, is we never had measures in place. So what was actually quite interesting is we had a great set of shopping of products in our shopping basket. We had this vision to go into, I think it was about 7 or 8 territories at the time. We thought some territories were going to perform better than others, and we plotted it out. We asked great questions. We looked at how the market would receive us, the financial investment into the market, the return. There were a whole lot of measures that we put in place. And the funniest thing out of all of that is Seychelles, where we are now, the smallest territory of them all. After looking at all these measures, asking the right questions, turned out to be the place where we should be and would be most profitable. And again, here we are 2 years later. So measuring, asking the questions, using a performance system in terms of your staffing, the resources that you're going to use, what's going to be involved in those operations is key. It was in July 2013, after Gary and I had finished with the strategy and we knew what the answer was. And he said to me, in a month's time, you have to be living in the Seychelles. That's your market, that's your customer base. Being in South Africa, you're wasting your time. Well, to have somebody to tell you that you've got to move,
tough one.
No, that was probably the easiest decision that I ever had to make. The big turnaround was to take our same products in the unique space that we were operating in, but to make that an annuity business where every month, the business was built on revenue coming in a steady stream. That to me was the fundamental change. 3 years ago, we had over nearly 100 employees in the company. We now, for example, in Seychelles, we have 12 staff here,
Sure.
and we're more profitable with 12 staff in a much smaller market. So, that's been replicated
That's
in the other
incredible.
countries, but that's just phenomenal.
Yes.
And, what we learned through the experience. We 2.5 years later now, since we came here full time, we have a wonderful infrastructure here, and we have nearly 72% market share in the hospitality industry.
Wow.
Biggest thing for me as business has become fun again. So the main thing was the focus and coming back to what we do best. But having direction and having focus, which I got through the new strategy, I became at peace. I knew what I was doing now, that we were building a strategy for the next 20 to 25 years in terms of sustainability of the business. In markets that are changing like this, markets that are highly competed, and especially with us where its environment is changing daily, weekly, to have a strategy like that and to be able to have that peace of mind that the work that we're doing today will be sustainable for 25 years down the road. That's priceless. Again, how do you put a value on that? Through Wilde Success, again, we changed operating systems in the business. We went to systems that were, keep it simple, that work for us, that enabled us to grow and to service our customers, as opposed to systems that were actually disabling us, holding us back, making it labor intensive to be able to deliver. So we've built this confidence in the customers that not only do we offer great products, we offer great service, but we have this team that can support them and look after them. And that's key in any business to ensure that sustainability. So to bring the numbers down from 100 to 12 and to be more profitable,
That's phenomenal.
it's a dream come true. But I'm loving what I'm doing. My team loves what we're doing. The big differences there have obviously been we now starting to work smarter. We're in a 24/7 service industry, but we're working less time where we're in a 5-day-a-week business back in South Africa. So operationally, that's fantastic because you're emotionally involved. And being at your own business, you will be. It's your little baby that you've grown from day one. Gary taught me how to withdraw from that and to make smart decisions about the business and the best interest of the business, which often at times didn't benefit me in a personal way, but it benefited the business. So it was a case of giving up short-term gratification for long-term gain. And to this day, we continue to ask these smart, often challenging decisions, but we know if it's hard, we're growing, and if it's hard, we know we're doing what other people are battling to do out there. And that's what's given us this incredible market share and given us this amazing success story.
That's amazing.
In terms of myself, through this process, Gary and I have become fantastic friends through that, and he's always somebody that I can go back to. So we have beautiful conversations on a weekly basis, but how he's become a mentor and someone who guides me and knows as much about me as the business. It's fantastic as an entrepreneur to have somebody that you can go to and always just to do that check.
Absolutely.
And he gives me that check. He gives me a non-emotional response to what I'm doing, which enables me to make smart decisions. So that's been a big thing for me because I've never had that. It's always quite lonely being at the top. So to have that's been made a massive impact in my life and how I operate the business. Because in a mentoring process, you grow as you go along. You build confidence in the person that's mentoring you. My key element was the first 3 questions where we sat down. He wasn't there to pull any punches or anything. This is reality. This is what you got to ask yourself. So through that and through self-analysis, I still remember that after the first question, he said, "It's your time. It's like the boxer. You're in the 10th round. You've lost the 9 rounds. You've got to do the knockout punch to win this, or you're going to lose." He said, "Tony, this is your time. From the decision that you make today will change the rest of your life." So he didn't paint a pretty picture. Okay, he gave me the guidance. Okay, and he gave me the direction to know that it was decision time. Through this experience, I gained more than the business. That I knew that whatever decisions that I make, whatever I want to change, I can do that. So my sights have been set a lot higher than what they were before, and I'm going to stop at nothing to achieve that. But I'm a much more balanced person. I'm having so much fun out here, and I'm just making every second count and just living the dream. I'm here with my incredible wife and my baby daughter, and for the first time in 15 years of running my own business, I'm now able to take weekends off and enjoy that. So what value do you put on something like that to have success and then have the time to be able to enjoy that? Best thing I ever did was to get Gary. an outsider who actually knew very, very little about the industry that we were in. So he came in with this out-the-box thinking, asked me some really random and funny questions, and I still thought at the time, geez, why is he asking me that? And I learned later in the process the direction he was getting from those questions. Obviously from Wilde Success, I mean, they've transformed this business to what it is today. So I'm going to recommend anybody out there to come and talk to you guys. And that for me, going back to your earlier question was, how did Gary, his involvement, how did that change things? Never at one point was it about the investment that we made in terms of Wilde Success. It wasn't about the return on investment. It was about how could we grow the business to have a sustainable business for the future. Because how do you quantify that in money? So the investment that we made, I think our return on investment was about 3 months. And just the benefits that we're enjoying from that now, and to be able to go back to Gary after all the time and effort that we put in, the relationship that's been formed, it's always having that checksum. So again, there's many different forms of media out there that people can go to, but for your business to have sustainability, you need continuity. So choose the people that you're going to work with smartly. The people that you're going to ask for questions and guidance need to be able to give you the insight, need to be able to help you to make the tough decisions, and again, to give you the confidence that you need. So I would definitely encourage anybody out there to come and have a chat to people like yourself, and to transform their business into something incredibly successful.
Absolutely.
Like we have at Pace Seychelles. From a strategy that we implemented, and I mean, I know you and Gary are my biggest supporters, and I know how proud you are of me, but 3 years ago we never envisaged this. We set goals, we've shattered them, and thanks and credit to you guys for making this all possible on this incredible journey.
Awesome.